Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Uncle Matt's Cookery Lessons. I'm going to be making some sauerkraut. Right, sauerkraut. Firstly, the science behind it. Now I've got to read this, okay, because I don't know. Basically, we're using salt to ferment some cabbage, and we're getting the lactic acid bacteria to ferment with the sugars. There you go. That's it. So basically, you're mixing some salt with some cabbage. You can add some other bits and pieces, some spices and some herbs, but I wanted to go really, really simple. My first ever attempt at doing this. So, I'm using the old Japanese mandolin because I get a nice even slice. You can use a knife, by all means use a knife, just try to get nice and thin and an even size. Obviously the main danger with using a mandolin is that it's known as a finger slicer for a reason. Now, that's why you use your guard at the end, but mine sort of went a bit wrong here, and what I should have done was just pick those bits out and just chop them up with a knife, but I went, oh my god. So, even though I know I don't cut myself, I still can't bear to watch this, so please don't do this. Oh my god. Can I look? You can look now, everyone. I didn't cut my fingers off. Seriously, don't do that. What an idiot. So here, having never made this, I wanted to refer to a channel that I really like called Joshua Wiseman. He does an awful lot of fermenting, and it's all the rage now, so I thought, let's jump on that bandwagon. So once you've got your cabbage sliced, you need to weigh it accurately. I'm doing it in grams. Pounds and ounces will be fine. So you make a note of the exact weight, and then you want to get between 2 and 3%. Now I've decided to go for 2% because that's what Joshua recommended. So this is how you do that. Times it by 0.02, and that gives you the weight in salt. But it doesn't seem right, so I thought, well, let's ask Joshua.
One that I use. Anyway, take your sliced cabbage, weigh it, and once you have the weight of that in grams, you're then going to multiply that by 0.02. The number that you get after that is the weight of salt that you need to use. That is 2% of the weight of the cabbage. So for me, since mine was 1,800 grams worth of cabbage, then I needed 36 grams of kosher salt. Once you've got that number, sprinkle the salt all over the cabbage, and then top.
Yep, I'm right. So once over my insecurity there, thought let's crack on. So it doesn't look enough, does it? And I think, okay, there's a tiny crumb in there. Get it all in. Get it all in. You need every bit. Now you've got to scrunch this. You've got to be nice and violent. Get out all your frustrations. Really, really carry on. And this took a good 5 minutes or so. So whilst I'm doing that, and you can see the water coming out, sauerkraut is a German word, and I believe it means sour herb. It's popular all over the world. We sort of associate it with Germany, Central Europe and Eastern Europe. But actually it believes, according to Wikipedia, that this may well have actually come from Asia, possibly Mongolia with Genghis Khan, or China. And it made its way over to Europe, and we still really like it. Not very popular in the UK. I believe it's very popular in the States, but during the World War I, they gave it a rebranding. They called it Liberty Cabbage because they thought being called sauerkraut might put Americans off because they're at war with the Germans. Anyway, get it into a jar. It's a nice new Kilner jar I've bought. Made sure it's nice and sterilised. I boiled it up with some water first. And now I'm going to use that thing. That is a muddler. But you can use a wooden spoon. A muddler, by the way, is what you use when you're making cocktails for your mojito, to muddle all your mint and all your limes and all that sort of stuff. So give it a really good squash down, because basically what we want to do is let this ferment under its own brine that it's created. So it's the water has come from the cabbage and it's going to sit under that. Now you want to keep it under the liquid. So this is how I'm doing that. So I thought, a bit of cling film, push it right down onto the surface. That'll stop any oxidization. And fermenting is basically controlled rotting of food, right? But we want to have that bit of control to it. And this is a handy way to keep that weight down, because I tried putting a ramekin on top, but the neck of the jar was too narrow for me to fit a ramekin into. But if you have a little pot that will fit it, do that. But there you go, a little food bag tied up, bit of water in it. That's all the hard work done. Now that's going to go into a cupboard. After you see me doing my absolute bestest handwriting, because, you know, it's on the telly. Yeah, did all right there. Usually it looks like a spider's walked across the page. And that is going to go into the cupboard, and every couple of days I'm going to just lift up the top, let any gases that are building up escape so we don't create a bomb. It's called burping. You can buy specialist valves, but you know, I don't have one, so that's what I did. This is 2 weeks later. We're doing a little taste test, because the recommendation is between 2 and 3 weeks. Obviously, the more you ferment it outside of the fridge, the more flavour it's going to develop, and you may not like too much of that flavour. So there's me having a taste, and I'm thinking it's pretty nice. But I referred to the expert in the family, in the household, my Polish lady, and she thought, no, a little bit longer would be good. Obviously, it's very, very popular in Poland. They put it in bigos, which is their classic sort of dish. It means hunter's stew, and it's a meat stew, but it has cabbage in it, usually sauerkraut or fresh cabbage, or both. And it's very, very nice. So back in the cupboard it went for a couple of days, and then it was done. And I didn't film that bit, but take my word for it, we were happy with the flavour. And I thought, well, you know, how do I present this? Goes nicely with a hot dog. So what else goes nicely with hot dogs? Fried onions. So very, very quickly, because it would have been a boring video, wouldn't it, if I just showed you the sauerkraut on its own. So just stirring those around in my skillet pan for a little while, a knob of butter in there. The brockwurst have been in simmering water for about 4 or 5 minutes to make sure they're nice and hot, and I thought, well, let's get them a little bit fried up in the pan along with the onions. And I like this technique. Got a hot dog roll there, put them over it so the sort of steam from the cooking warms them through. That's a nice technique, I like that. There's my backside, and no, you don't have to see that anymore. Here goes. Right, so I'm going to do something that's going to separate the room here. I'm going to put a little bit of mayonnaise. Yeah, who puts mayonnaise on a hot dog? Well, I do. Deal with it. A little bit of mayo. There goes a sausage. Some of that lovely crispy fried onions. You can see the side there, some classic French's American style mustard, which is perfect for this, and copious quantities of the sauerkraut. And that is absolutely lovely. I'll definitely be making it again. But the stuff I've got may last a while. Anyway, thank you very much for watching Uncle Matt's Cookery Lessons. I hope you enjoy this one, and see you in the next video coming really soon. Bye.